got to start with a hug. I know we're going to mess up our sound.
It's okay. Let's get that energetic reset
Yeah.
from the microphone
And just give me your hands for a
situation.
moment just so I can feel into your energy. Many times people start with words, and sometimes words aren't needed. And so I can feel the frequency and the vibration, and I can share my frequency and vibration when I just touch you. And so I set the scene just by touching your hands.
I appreciate that. In that moment, what came for me was I deeply appreciate being the one that is being felt.
Because
What
you're usually doing the role of feeling others.
I am usually the space holder when I'm doing interviews with people, even though I don't come into it, I'm usually the one that's like, give me your hand.
Exactly.
Just to reset the energy. So in that moment, I was just flooded with gratitude. And this is just so honest, like flooded with gratitude because I have been asking for a mentor, a guide, and it's truly just bringing out so much emotion with gratitude. I have been asking, and I almost started to look on social media over the past year, but something just kept saying, just wait.
Just wait.
Yeah, just wait.
For me, it's the flow of things and learning how to stop trying to control and be in charge, to trust, step back, and allow. And I think last year, 2024, was a year of flow, ease, and doer spirit. Go where spirit wants you to go and do what spirit wants you to do, even if it doesn't make sense to you.
Absolutely.
I had been saying it with my mouth before, but I did it with my whole spirit last year. And it doesn't feel any different today being in 2025. It just all feels like that. If that had words, that's what it feels like.
This month, I've been doing a lot more listening. 2024 for me was a year of my guidance system telling me to be at ease, telling me to slow down, telling me to flow. But astrologically, I was coming out of Aries 10th house energy and moving into a Taurus 10th house energy with my progressive chart. So when I looked at my progress and I saw you're moving from this fiery do
into this earthy groundedness.
Yes. And for me, it almost felt like a car's driving so fast and I'm trying to pump the brakes. But it's like, where are the brakes?
Yeah.
So 2024 was me like finding the brakes and learning, not mentally, not through the book aspects, because I'm a reader. I will research.
And
There's
we
so
can
much
get lost in these books. These books will have you down a rabbit hole, and it's good information, but at some point you have to put them away and live the things you're reading.
And so instead of reading about what it meant to be divinely feminine, moving into that Taurus energy, especially in my career, I call it career space, but in my purpose, in my life purpose space,
that's absolutely it.
It required me to learn what it meant to flow into it. So this has been, on our phone conversations, this has been a topic of discussion, just the divine feminine awakening and what that means. So I would love to hear from you as to what you're receiving and just what you have for us with that.
It's interesting that you ask me, what am I receiving? Because I am being much more open with people that I am a medium, I am a channel. I hear information that I've asked to come to me in one collective voice, if it's hearing or it's just downloading into my mind in a clear, cognizant way, and I'm just aware of it. And what happens is things are confirmed in actions and almost instant moments. So when I tell you this is information that literally has downloaded into my spirit and is confirmed almost immediately from multiple different sources. What has been happening probably for about close to 20 years now is women, womb holders. I want to be clear about that. People that have wombs are being awakened to the power of what is in the lining of the womb, that is
Mm.
in the movement of the menses, of the wisdom that comes in the crone stage when women move completely into menopause. And it is a
Mm.
reminder of where we were before there was a colonization or even a taking over of men or non womb holders. I
Mm.
think most of us forget because there's generations of lineage for people who are here as humans on a karmic cycle. There's a forgetting of the power.
Mhm.
And it's not forgetting as you've forgotten or I've forgotten. Our mothers have forgotten. Our mothers' mothers, our mothers'
Mhm.
mothers' mothers, our mothers' 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 mother forgot her power. Our
Mm.
fathers' mothers, our fathers' fathers' mothers' mothers. There's so many lineages of women for each one of us incarnated in each human suit that have forgotten. And if they didn't forget, it's been beaten out of them, or they've been burned
Mm.
at the stake, or they've been hung,
Mhm.
or their heads have been cut off at the guillotine, or they've been pushed out. So I'm going into these different
Mm.
centuries of how things have happened when women walked in their divine feminine ways, because it's very mystical,
Mm.
it's very magical, it's very
Yes.
powerful.
Yes.
So I have to touch on religion. When colonization took place, they did it with religion in the forefront. And so, if any religion, because look at all of them, if any religion can
Mm.
take a male and put that male at the head and say he is the one, women should be subservient. They should cover their head, they should cover their face, they should speak when spoken to, they should be
Mm.
at home and do these things. Then the ancient woman who knew that her blood was powerful and magical and was using it in sacred rites, all of that is gone
Purging as you're speaking. My body is literally purging.
because your body knows that my words are true.
Wow.
This was downloaded to me before I started taking classes. This
Mm.
was downloaded to me before I started studying ancient civilizations. These conversations need to be had. And I think for my age group, I'm in my mid 50s, this is a very challenging conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because my age group is very ingrained in what they've been taught by their grandmothers, their mothers, and religion. Very
Mm-hmm.
ingrained. So if I even approach that God may not be a he, already I have been silenced. So I realize that I have to be selective in my conversation. I have to be thoughtful, respectful to people where they are. But the reality is, this awakening is happening whether
Mm-hmm.
anybody wants it to or not. It's not about what a human wants, it's not about
Mm.
the groups that are in control. It's not about that. We can already see it.
It's inevitable.
You can look at cultures where women wear burqas, where they're not allowed to be educated. They are already standing up and speaking their truth. They're being
Mm-hmm.
educated, they're sharing, and they're being hurt for it. They're being harmed for it.
Mm.
So we need to start paying attention to places where we're being silenced. There's a reason when you're being silenced.
Mm-hmm.
Start to look at the why. Ask the question why.
Mm-hmm. The fear of the other, the fear of the oppressor, rather. I don't want to say the other. The fear of the that who silences.
So to go back to the things that have been downloaded to me, there are ancient ways of doing things in connection to beings that are not in our three-dimensional reality. And women hold the connection, womb holders, let me be specific. Womb
Mm-hmm.
holders hold that connection through their DNA. There is not another human that can create another human in the body,
Mm-hmm.
feed it through their own eating, communicate with it intuitively, give birth to it, and sense it when it's away from their body.
Mm-hmm.
You have a child. I have
Absolutely.
children. You
Absolutely.
know that if that baby cried, what happened to your breast?
Yes.
You could feel the tingling, the milk began to let.
And it's impossible not to feel them.
If another baby cries, that's why somebody can be a wet nurse.
Mm-hmm.
All womb holders around the world, they have this ability. It is innate, it is biological, hence scientific testing on the placenta, on menstrual blood, on what happens during the menses, because now doctors and scientists realize that T cells can be created from this blood, from this lining. Why do you think people's placentas are taken from them in these hospitals? There's just too much scientific research and background that point to the things that I'm telling you that have been downloaded to me over the last decade that I didn't know anything about. I didn't
Right.
ask for this information.
Right.
The information just dropped into me in dreams and waking downloads and meditations long before psychedelic plant medicine experiences, long before that. And once I started doing the psychedelic plant medicine and technology activities and experiences, it was simply confirmation in clear, vivid color.
Wow.
And technicolor. So that's what I think when we talk about what does that mean for today and now, it means that women who are used to looking to men for their affirmations, for looking to men for their value, looking to men for their beauty.
Yes.
Looking to men for, oh, it's okay for me to do this. Looking to men for, can I make this much money and do this thing? All of that's going to stop. And I'm not saying that men are going away. I have two men as sons. I'm happily married almost 30 years to a man who is absolutely my partner,
Yes.
my king, and the father to my children. I am the sister to a man who was lovingly married and the father to a daughter.
Yes.
I am the daughter of a man who I respect for his power in his spiritual journey, in his healing. So I am not saying anything negative about men. What I'm saying is something empowering and positive for women. I want to be very clear about that.
Because two things can be true at once.
Absolutely. And what we have experienced so far is inequality and things being imbalanced.
Yes.
There's a movement to balance where men, non-womb holding humans, are recognizing the balance and the need for the feminine divine within them.
Yes.
And where women are womb holders are recognizing the power within their DNA. Yes. And within their spirit. And there's nothing wrong with recognizing that and feeling strong and walking in strong self-esteem and in powerful empowerment. There's nothing wrong with that. And then being able to see that light in their non-womb holder partners, children, fathers, siblings. That's where we're going.
Yes.
And I will say this, on a metaphysical level, for people that can't get there, it's okay. This is not an argument. It's not a discussion I need to have for someone that doesn't understand what I'm saying. There are parallel universes all coexisting at the same time.
Absolutely.
And there is a world for those people that think that what I'm saying is insane. And there's a world for the enlightened, higher vibration, higher frequency beings that will communicate without words, that will recognize worth in each other, and that will not have limitations of ethnicity, gender, age. All of that will no longer exist in this frequency level that I'm referring to, and on that universal level. So all of them can exist, and they do exist currently.
Exactly.